Well, happy Tuesday. It's time for this week's video. Get ready. Alright, I have to redo this whole video because I messed it up at the end on the last recording. So, today I am going to answer a question that was posted on YouTube by a friend of ours in Croatia. And it was posted on last week's video, The Gospel Gets You Thinking. He writes, can you explain Romans when Paul all the time is talking about faith and because of our faith? And he says, I don't know how to explain his words to my friend. She can't see how she or anyone else can be saved without faith. Well, the first answer is nobody is saved without faith. But that begs the question, by whose faith? Because everybody is saved by faith. Literally everybody is saved by faith. But it's whose faith? It's not our faith that does the saving. Paul was very clear in Romans, especially in chapter 3. I'm going to read you 2 verses. And in chapter 3, verse 22, he says, even the righteousness of God, which is by faith of Jesus Christ, unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. However, up in verse 3, he says, so, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? God forbid, is his answer. No. People who do not believe, that will not undo what the faith of God did, which the faith of God is for what it did. Paul explains throughout, because he talks about the faith of Abraham and the faith of Christ. And but in chapter 5, he talks about how what one man, Adam, did, whether people believed it or not, they were all condemned by what one man did. And yet by what one man, Jesus Christ, did, all were raised to life and righteousness, whether they believe it or not. So, again, Paul is saying, what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of God without effect? No. Even the righteousness of God, which is by faith of Jesus Christ, unto all men, unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. Now, when he's talking about the faith of Abraham, I want to make this clear too. The faith of Abraham did not save Abraham. That was his faith established a covenant with God because of the promise that God made. But Abraham did not receive the promise. In Hebrews, you'll find out that even though he had faith, he didn't receive the promise, because that's not what his faith was going to do. Abraham had faith and did not receive the promise. Hebrews also says Moses had faith and did not receive the promise. And Noah had faith and did not receive the promise. And Rahab had faith and did not receive the promise. And many other people had faith, yet they did not receive the promise. We all received the promise as verified in chapter 5 of Romans, which is righteousness and everlasting life, and that by one man, and by the faith of Jesus Christ, the faith of God. So, it's very clear in Romans 3 verse 3 that anybody who does not believe, that unbelief cannot undo what the faith of Christ did. God forbid. Everybody who is righteous in chapter 5 is righteous because of Jesus Christ, and that's everybody. So I hope that helps. And chapter 3 is really the key in Romans when you're talking about whether somebody doesn't believe, whether you have to be saved by your faith, and if somebody doesn't believe, that means they're not saved. Chapter 3 right there tells you it doesn't matter. It's revolutionary, I know. Have a revolutionary week.